Our cabin was equipped with one of the most comfortable mattresses we've ever slept on during a vacation. Day one of our adventure quickly became a distinct memory because our attention was now focused on a more rugged exploration. We decided that we would start our expedition with an easy challenge and do some cave tours. Little did we know, this day trip would be one of our most challenging, adrenaline-pumping adventures yet. The trip to Carter Caves State Park was a long and windy road. I've learned over the last couple of years of going on outdoor adventures that the long and windy road leading to the adventure is not only part of the experience, but it usually foreshadows our level of excitement to come. The longer and windier the road, the more reverence we manifest toward that experience in our shared memory. When we went on the X-Cave tour, we felt that we were in familiar territory. We had visited caves like this in Ohio. Little did we know, that was just a taste of what was to come. We explored the facilities at the lodge, and we decided to see what one of the natural bridges looked like nearby. We just finished a 2-hour tour in the Bat Cave in Carter Cave State Resort in Kentucky. And I just gotta say, I highly recommend it because all the videos that you've probably ever seen about spelunking or whatever it's called, this is the epitome of that, and it's $15 per person, which is a deal. And you know, you can't get a better value, I think, for your money because, I mean, we saw so many formations and we had to crawl through enclosures, and I had to get on my hands and knees and crawl through a tunnel, and there was water that was waist high, chest high, freezing cold, but there was like some beautiful, beautiful vaulted ceilings, and I mean, how come I've never heard of this? I don't know. This is the best kept secret, but for $15, you gotta see it. I forgot to mention it was called Bat Cave, and I wore my Batman shirt today, coincidentally. There's a bunch of water marks, like cave crud, on my lenses from all the moisture and having to wipe off my foggy glasses because the temperatures colliding in different openings throughout the cave. I just thought that was a pretty interesting remnant of the experience. Okay, so after we did the Bat Cave tour, we decided to stick around for about an hour after that and do the canoeing on the Smoky Lake, and so far it's pretty peaceful. Kind of different from Mohican. The water isn't flowing here, but we're on a sort of stretch that kind of looks like a river, but it's not. So I think it'll be a nice way to end the day, and I'm just amazed at how much there was at this smaller park compared to Daniel Boone.
The group that gathered to take the cave tour had to huddle in the Welcome Center office to be assigned a helmet with a flashlight on it. We marched toward the cave entrance with nervous anticipation, and we were distracted with an immediate climate change. As we gathered like churchgoers in front of the giant cliff face of the cave opening, we were given safety instructions, but it was difficult for me not to be distracted by the shimmering water reflected on each angle of every rock. We descended into the cave, and it began to close gradually like a funnel until we reached a Jurassic Park-style gate. We were told it was to prevent criminal activity, but I still couldn't help to admire the fantastic images it elicited in my mind of the Kraken from the Clash of the Titans. I can't quite remember all of the nicknames for the waypoints, but we passed through challenges with names similar to the Duck Walk and the Mudslide and the Break Room. The Mudslide was a stooping trail that required a person to hike through about 8 to 12 inches of clay-like mud. The Break Room consisted of massive broken boulders that probably fell from the ceiling, and where we coincidentally took a break to do some beginner-level climbing. But the Duck Walk was a tunnel that lasted for about 130 feet, and it forced me to crawl on my hands and knees. This memory will be forever imprinted in my mind. And rooms like the Break Room were referred to as meat grinders if the Smoky Valley Lake just so happened to flood and drain into the cave with people in it. To say the least, I was filled with awe. It was awesome, in the true sense of the word. But in between the fun physical challenges, there were more subtle parts of the story. For example, one stretch of the tour, we waded through water. The walls of the cave were so delicate, and the rocks were beautifully polished. There were some areas of the cave that looked like the calcite coated the rock in a white glaze, and there were other parts where you could see the straws and stalactites just beginning to form, although they were about 60 years older than me by now. Experiences like these are filled with so much nuance, and they are impossible to recreate. That is why I try to collect experiences, not things. As we floated on the Smoky Valley Lake, we reflected on all of the excitement of the previous few hours. We expressed many thanks for all of the good fortune in our lives, and and we allowed the serenity of the new setting to relax us for the next day's adventure to Red River Gorge.